Lord. I'll set that right there. Let's see. So how are you all? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me write this down here. If not, this isn't working. Oh boy. All right. Hey Laura, how are you? Good evening, good night, good morning. I don't know where you're at, so glad to see you. You know, I haven't been on for like so long. I forgot how to set this darn thing up. I forgot it. I moved it from my brother's room. I had I moved it. My brother and I changed rooms. He wanted my room, and I wanted this one because it's more quiet. So I brought my computer into here, but I never really set it up, you know. And so finally, I set it up, and I said, "Well, you know what? I'm going to go online. I haven't done that. And got a lot to say, and I don't know if you guys are OGs when I had, my pets, and I had Ginger. If you all remember Ginger, I never forgot her. And then Hercule, and now I still have him. And I lost my older cat, Guy, last Sunday. And yeah, I lost him, but I still have many cats, many cats. Got foster cats. I've got cats that are mine, probably fosters that are mine. Oh, thank you. He was doing good until he wasn't. We don't know if he had like a mini stroke sometime back. And I think it's like a blood clot called saddleback, I think it was. And, but he was doing all right. He was eating. He never had an IV, IBD. He never had another. I took him off of all that food. And he seemed to thrive. But he was on the steroids for so long because of his IBD that, I don't think it did him any good. But at any rate, he got where he couldn't barely walk, and he was walking on his hunches. And so he got really, really, really bad where he couldn't walk at all anymore. And he started losing a lot of weight, constantly going back and forth to the doctor, which that was no problem, never a problem. But it was just his quality of life was just so bad. It was just, he was declining fast. So other than that, still have all this. Well, we got rid of two, but I have fosters. I have my own cats. So I'm flush with cats, and I still have Ginger. Imagine Hercules. I was thinking about a Ginger today. Yep. So, how are you guys doing? How are you all? I come on here a lot. Not on here like to talk, but I watch videos. I know some of the lore of Chantal lore and the Amberlyn Reed lore and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, it's crazy. But not for me to judge. Just, well, I got my opinions, of course. I still always have my opinions in life. But just I never really Yeah, I still do DoorDash. I enjoy it. I love it. I did over, let's see, in 2 years over 5,250 deliveries, and I enjoy it a lot. I mean, you meet some really crazy people and some crazy stuff out there happens, but I do like it. I now I kind of get, the older I get, the more tired I get. Like, I just don't have the patience I had when I first started doing it. When I first started, I would do everything that they asked me. Oh, you go 15 miles? Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Now you go, are you crazy? I'm going 15 miles for nothing unless you got to pay me $45. But yeah, I like it. I like it. It gives me freedom to get out of the house. Instacart, I signed up for it, but when I thought about it, I mean, I like the idea because they pay really well, much better than DoorDash. But you have to do all that water, and I can't carry all that water. I don't have that much strength to carry all those um, bottled water and things upstairs, and I've already fallen once doing the deliveries. Don't want to do that again. And there, I wish I could. I wish I was younger. I know. I had my brother going with me for a minute, but he started telling me how to do my job. I was getting so mad. I said, no, you can't come no more. It's my piece. Yeah. So I told him, no, no, you're not doing this. So, he doesn't usually go with me. It's all right, though. I mean, it gets him out of the house. But I do like, I haven't been doing it lately. I had an accident, not doing DoorDash, but when I was finished and I had an accident. So I'm not doing it right now. I will be, depending on what I do with my car, or maybe I won't. I haven't decided that really 100%. I'm kind of between yes and no because the one thing about DoorDash, they put the miles on your car. I think in 2 years, I put probably over ooh, 60,000 miles on my car. Yeah. Oh, I'm okay. I'm all right. It's so much miles. I mean, constantly. I was getting oil changes like, you know, every 2 months. Every 2 months getting an oil change. And I've gone through so many parts of my car, new tires, new this, new that, just to keep the car running. And then some bazooka. I wasn't even doing DoorDash. I was just coming home from going to the store, and it hits me from behind. Damn it, and killed my car. But that's that. But the longer you're on the road, the more chances that you're going to get an accident, you know, and the chances of it being bad is pretty good. So what are you doing? I forget where you're located at. I'm here in Indiana, of course. Still. I was hoping by now I would have moved, but I haven't. I want to move. Oh, you're in Kentucky. Oh, okay. I wanted to move to West Virginia. I still want to move to West Virginia. I've, except I have so much, stuff. It really has. Traffic is just like nuts. people won't watch. They will, you know, the guy who hit me, he said, the police asked him, well, why didn't you stop? He said, I didn't see her. How can you not see me? I'm an SUV. I'm big. And I'm like, man, yep. It kind of makes me not want to go out there and drive no more. Kind of. I mean, I want to go places, but I don't want to drive to get there. Because I've seen some accidents, like, woo, so driving, you know, I always say the more accidents you see, the more chances they're going to get to you. I know. And you know, it's like they make you, the person who hit me had bullshit insurance. Bullshit. They just had the what you call it, 10, what do we call it is, the very minimum. And I called them. I said, well, you know, I wanted to go through their insurance so I wouldn't have to pay the deductible. And, you know, because I'm thinking, okay. And the guy says, no, we don't pay for towing. We don't pay for this. We don't pay for that. You have to move your vehicle, get your vehicle moved to mitigate the damages. And I'm like, what the hell? I mean, like, I did something to him. And it wasn't only me, he hit two other people. I know. Crazy. Well, they should, though. You know, it's like, man, what you're doing is you're putting other people, I mean, not only the car, but the livelihood. You don't know if people can afford another car, if they have full coverage. I remember the day when you didn't have to have insurance. I remember clearly. I remember those days. Now, shoot, you can't even. I wouldn't even, if I knew somebody didn't have insurance, I'm not getting a car with them. No. I remember when you didn't even have to wear a seat belt. And I remember I got a ticket for not wearing a seat belt when they first changed over. I was going to put it on, but I forgot. And at the time where I lived at, you didn't have to have a seat belt. And this was like in the early 80s. And I got pulled over. And I'm like, man, I was so mad. And but I understand now. Now I wouldn't even get in a car because I see so many stupid accidents. You know, like, man. And not only that, you know those bikes that you see with the motorized bikes? Those kids scare the shit out of me. I'm like, what the hell? You know, they come so fast. I told my daughter, I said, I'm gonna get me one of those. Granny with a bike. put a basket on the front, maybe a flower. Probably somebody hit me just because. Oh my God. I see people with their motorized wheelchairs. I'm like, what the hell? What happens if that motor goes out? What the heck do you do? Do you call those tow trucks or something to tow you? Oh my God, that would be so sad and bad. See, I don't trust things like that because my luck is not that good. Hey, don't worry, I am too. Oh my God. I see people taking those, you know, I see people leaving the grocery store with those motorized wheelchairs. Yes, I do. I've seen that. And it's like, man. But see, I think they have something on the wheels that won't let it leave that area. Yep. And they have those at Walmart. See, my brother, he has to get in one of those. And so, like, we go to Walmart or we'll go to like Meyer. I don't know if you all have Myers. They have those. And Jewel, Osco, I don't know where. There's Jewel's under a lot of different names. Uh, 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 um, yep, I see people driving them down. I'm like, oh my goodness. I make him get in those. I say, you know what, you can't walk. And then by the time I halfway through the store, you're ready to go. I said, we're not going until I'm done. So, my brother's good though. He'll get in those wheelchairs. But I see those bikes. I'm like, they look like fun. I know. I see them like with grandkids in the basket, and they're holding them on the back. They're riding on the back. Yep, I've seen that. That's mostly at Walmart. Mostly at Walmart. I want to get a job. I did work at Walmart for a minute, and then I quit, and then I did. Then I went and I worked and started doing DoorDash. And I liked it. And the truth be told, I liked working at Walmart because I thought the people were funny as hell. It was fun too. Yep, you gotta do what you gotta do. And if you come to the store with like maybe 2 kids or 3 kids, you gotta keep them entertained because if not, they'll run off. If you're in one of those wheelchairs and you can't, you gotta keep them going, keep them entertained. Come here, Cora. You wanna go out? Go on. Oh God, heavens, yes. I learned that from doing DoorDash. Oh my God, people are so mean. But they're not directly mean, but they're mean. How is the weather where you're at? I hear it's supposed to get really cool here, like tonight, and this whole next week it's supposed to be like in the low 70s or even 60s one day. I'm like, yes. I'm so tired of summer. I am so tired. So tired of summer. Hey, Raymond, how are you? Welcome. Well, welcome. I'm new here too now. I haven't been back for a long time. I said I'm going to start coming back, since it's in my room and my brother goes to bed earlier now, I can come on. I know it's been so hot. I know what you mean. Yep. I used to watch a lot of bad ones. Oh yeah. I watch like the ones like channels like where you see people like police going to places, they're arresting people for like trying to uh get get money out of banks, like cashing bad checks. Then I watch, of course, the drama channels, which all in all is kind of triggering because I have a past, and I'm like, I don't want to venture down that way again. I mean, but yeah, there's a lot of bad people out there. There's a lot of people who are scamming people, and a lot of things that are going on. It's not healthy mentally, and it gets in your head. But I do watch a lot of nice people too. I watch a lot of people from West Virginia. Did you ever watch the Presley Girls? I like to watch them. I found this one lady. She does hauls and stuff, and they're from like Appalachia, I believe, and just nice, nice, nice. Do you ever watch I don't know if you're a cat person or not, but Tiny Kittens. Oh, Bigfoot. Oh wow, cool. I watched the Tiny Kittens, Lucky Ferals. I like those. Lucky Ferals, she takes in a lot of cats, and I always say I'm kind of like her. Too many cats. um, I like to watch rescues. I like to watch. I don't like to watch people eating. I have no desire to watch nobody eat. I don't need to see you eat. I don't. But I do like to watch people buy groceries for some odd reason. I like to watch people who go to the grocery store and they'll show you things that they try out. There's this one lady. She goes like to Aldi, and she'll go to like Sam's Club, she'll go to Costco, or just to regular grocery stores, Walmart, and buy stuff that are new, and she will try them out. And so you'll know what's good. You don't have to go out and buy all that stuff to see if it's any good or not. And those are the type of stuff I watch. I'm not into cooking. I'm not into any of that. I'm not really even into dieting and all that. I used to watch that, but I try to find things that are about like mountains. I like mountains. You know, in the ideal world, I would love to live in a mountain. A mountainside or in the mountains. Appalachia. Oh my God, I would love to do that. But see, I have my brother, and I can't. He don't want to go there. I mean, I don't know what difference it makes if you're in a mountain or if you're here. You're not doing nothing different. I mean, I'm asking you to climb it or anything. Oh, okay. I don't have the attention span really for TV anymore. I go from video to video to video, just like you, probably just like you. I have that on my TV in my room or in the living room, and I had Netflix because I get it with with my phone, and I don't like Netflix. And it's all like, I like old shows. I mean, to be honest, I like shows like Leave It to Beaver. I like that stupid show. I love it. It's my when things are bad, I watch it because I think, man, that's how life used to be. Well, it really wasn't like that, but I watch old stuff like that. But actually, I like YouTube a lot. I do. I like YouTube a lot. I like, you know what I listened to? I don't know if I just never found anything that really interested me because I have like, I don't know if it's attention deficit, but I just, you know, I just can't sit there very long watching it because mostly if I sit there very long, I'm going to go to sleep. Mostly if I come home at night, when I was doing the DoorDash, I come home and do the Oculus. I play my game. Yes, exactly. Nothing ever changes. It's the same, same, same. It's almost like watching Hallmark Channel. They're all the same. Um, I don't know. What else? What else? I'm trying to think. I listen to these stories on YouTube. Like they're like a lot of mysteries and like crime, not crime, but they're just like stories. There's like books, and they tell a story, and you listen to it. And I like to listen to that. When I'm now, I don't even have to watch anything. I can just listen to it. I used to listen to that when I was driving all the time. So now when I go to bed, I listen to it. If I'm not working now, I'm listening to that. Um, but just sitting there watching TV, just like, uh-uh. I just, no interest, nothing. I liked American Idol. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I always wish, man, I wish I could sing because I would have, if when I was younger, I would have wanted to do that. But I'm old and I can't sing. So, um, but yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. I remember Daryl Brooks. Oh God. I loved watching Daryl Brooks trial. Oh my God. I watched that all. My daughter and I would talk about it. We would talk about it for hours. I mean, that man was insane. He was insane, but he was hilarious. But he was stupid. He was insane, and the things he did, he was just so. He had no heart, no soul. He was insane. Hey, Melissa, how are you? Oh, thank you, Melissa. Oh my God. Yeah, I was telling her it was. I was telling Laura it was. He got sick and he had like a saddleback. That's what they think he had. Wasn't really 100% sure what caused him, but he had sort of like a paralysis, sort of on his back, and he was still walking okay until the very end. I'm so glad to see you. Yeah, Daryl Brooks. I sometimes watch the trials. I was gonna watch the one with the guy in, I think it was Idaho, or the one that he killed those college students. But I think that it didn't go to trial. He pled, life in prison. Probably would have gotten the death penalty. Thank you, Melissa. I had that one planned. Yeah, Koberger. That killed me because he went to college for being a crime something or another. Oh my God. That's what gets me. if you don't, he has nothing to say. What can he say? If you didn't do the crime, you wouldn't have been in prison. I don't want to hear it. What does he want? Special attention? No. Oh, I watch it all the time. Police Body Cam, I do. I watch that. I do. There is something called where you can watch where the police, let me see if I can find it on my phone. It's called, you could see, oh my God. What was that? What is this one I watch? And I don't watch it often because it really gets in my head. It's like when, say for instance, they have a police shooting and they will show, it's called Incidents. Let me see. It's the actual thing that happened. And okay, my subscriptions. You know what? As long as I've been on YouTube and as long as I've had a phone, I still don't know how the hell to use it. That was a crazy crime. Let me see. Why do I always go to DoorDash app? I think because they're both red. Subscriptions. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, the one who does a grocery lady is a grocery lady. I watch her a lot. Not for the food, but not for eating. Just she buys groceries. I like to watch groceries. I like to see what people buy. That way, I'm not going to go out and buy it. I probably wouldn't buy it anyways, but I just like to see. What is the name of this? I watch Modern Renaissance Man sometimes. Let me see. I'm trying to find that channel because it's crazy. I mean, if you like to watch stuff that's really, hey, we see everything. How are you? Welcome. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. I mean, I watch it and then I don't know why I watch it because I watch a lot of DoorDash drivers. I watch, what's her name? Meaty Mama, MEatyMama, I think it is. I like her okay. I think she begs a little bit too much. I just have my opinions on that, Okay, you beg a little bit too much there. Oh, I'm trying to find this one. I mean, if you like to see things that are true, you could see the camera. The cameras when they shoot somebody and they show, and it's so crazy. And I only found it on accident. And I hate to say I watched it, and then it's in my feed because I saved it. I think. God, my back hurts. Let me see. Heavy Gant Reacts. I watched him. He does a lot of. Where is this guy at? Let me see. Incidents. Let me pull it up like that. Incidents. Let me see. Police incidents. Police. I can't find it. That's how I feel about it. I I watch her, this lady, okay, I like her, but I don't like that, like, all of a sudden, when she needs money, she pulls out the Jesus card. I'm like, why you do that? I even wrote to her, I said, why you do that? I mean, everybody's got a problem. Hell, I mean, it's all right if you go on YouTube. I mean, it's all right if you have a super chat or something like that. But then, telling everybody all your bills, that's just too much. That's just too much for me. But, I guess to each his own. But I just think that everybody has problems and everybody has going through something, and it's just too much. And I thought I'd get away from that, when I go on the DoorDash stuff. You ever watch Fathering Autism? That crazy lady sounding. Oh, Cynthia Beaumont. I'll tell you something about her. I mean, not my favorite YouTuber by any stretch of imagination or anything like that, but I give her credit. I'll tell you why I give her credit. She came online, okay. She made the best of a situation. She doesn't really do YouTube, I don't think so much. I think she does what is that, TikTok? And the way I remember it, she's doing pretty good. And I don't know if she gets donations or whatever, but I know she's got a hell of a lot of subscribers. And I give people credit like that. You know what? You took care of yourself, and I give that credit. I really, 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 really do, because that's the problem today. Not too many people do anything. They'll sit there what they can't do, but instead of doing something they can do. Okay, you might not have any talent, but she created something that it seems like she's doing all right. Now, I don't know if she is or if she isn't, because I don't watch her channel. Every now and then I'll see something, or, I'll say, I'm grown now. I'm not stupid. I don't have to hate anybody. I don't hate nobody on YouTube. I don't like certain people on YouTube, but I don't hate anybody on YouTube. I take a peek and I see what she's doing. Okay, not my cup of tea, for sure, but I give her credit. You're out there, you're doing it, you're trying your best, I guess. That's all I can ask for. But when I see somebody on, trying to throw the poor, pitiful me, and again, I don't have no problem with anybody, donating and all that, but don't use a Jesus card like that. God ain't gonna be happy with that. Um, um, I don't know. I'm trying to find this video. Oh, I don't think I watched it on my phone. That's the problem. I haven't watched it on my phone. A lots of posers. You're right. Too many people. Everybody comes on with an agenda. Too many. Donate here, donate there, donate this. Guy got that. Um, you know, groceries are expensive. Gas is high. Like where I live at, $3.49 isn't unusual. A gallon. Why would I expect somebody to give me money when everybody else is struggling too? Or reading off all my bills. I don't do that. You know, you got your bills, I got my bills. People come on YouTube to be entertained, you know. And if you're entertained, then you're that's what you come for. You don't come for to give away your money, you know, because maybe you don't have money, and maybe that's why you're on YouTube. Maybe it's why I'm on YouTube. You know, I told you, my entertainment is mostly all the time YouTube. I don't necessarily come online, you know, talking to people. You know, really haven't, but I come on YouTube. I watch a lot of videos. Some of them are very interesting, and some of them not so much. But you know, there you go. There you go. And that's, you know what? You pay your Wi-Fi, you this, you watch somebody. If you subscribe to somebody, not necessarily join their channel, but just, you know, subscribe to their channel if you want to. If you don't, it doesn't even matter, because you know what? If you're viewing somebody's video and if they're monetized, they're getting something. And as a person, I said thank you. If you're even just watching my video, you know, if you're there, if you're not, you know, I appreciate it, because that's all. I remember when YouTube first came, and I mean, I wasn't the first one on doing YouTube. And I remember before that, it was AOL. And boy, I would have paid. I loved AOL. And it wasn't a lot of the same methods on here. I see so much stuff that's on YouTube that I don't think would have even existed on AOL. YouTube has gotten away. They let the people who I think have higher numbers, maybe making them money, get away with stuff that they wouldn't let the little guy get away with. You know, the little guy who comes in and starts a channel, wants to talk about making coffee. Like I said, I ain't into food so much, but he's sitting up there making coffee, and you know, he says something off. Oh, you get a strike for that. But you let this other person do something horrible, and they turn their head. Oh, we didn't see that, and you've seen it, and you know you've seen it, or you know, nudity, or like, look, I'm not a prude, but I'm a grown up, and I know kids are on here, and you know, you have to be at least a little considerate. Not every parent is watching their kid. So the things that you wouldn't go out and sit on the streets and do, you probably shouldn't do on your computer. Just my thoughts. You know, you can talk about anything you want, but you got to remember who's behind that screen listening, you know, and, you know, that's just how I do it, you know. But again, I probably, if I would have said this maybe 6 years ago, I probably might not have said that. But now, me as 63 years old, a whole different. I'm in a whole different league now. I'm in the grandma league. But you know, it's just the way it is, I guess. I just always think that YouTube doesn't do the right things all the time. They don't make the right choices, and there's too much. It's too much. But I do enjoy it, though. I mean, the truth is, it's the cheapest entertainment you can have. You know, I mean, if you want to pay to join 50 channels, that's fine, but you don't have to. Never. Oh my God. I reported this one person, I'm going to say the name, at least 500 times. I even did the long form because it was what this person did was so egregious. so horrible. I did the long form. I even tried to call YouTube. You can't get in touch with nobody. And then when you do get in touch with somebody, well, we're looking into it. No, you're not. Because I've seen YouTube take down a channel in like really fast. I'm not talking about because somebody hurt my feeling or somebody hurt somebody's feelings. Feelings are one thing, but when you are scamming people, when you are doing stuff that is clearly against the rules, and they know it's against the rules because they wrote the rules. What the hell, They wrote the damn rules, and they do nothing about it. They don't even follow their own rules. But you know what? You know when they will follow their own rules is when they get in trouble. When they get in trouble, when somebody comes down and they get in trouble, all of a sudden, it's just like if you work in an office. Everybody comes in 10 minutes late. But when the big boss comes in, and that's when the rules get tightened up. And that's what will happen with YouTube. You watch. I've seen too much. It's like, man, how does this person get away with this? How does this person? Yep. I reported for two things: animal abuse, and I reported for stealing money. And nothing. And I'll report again. Because I figure nope. It's like the thing about like animals. Where I'm at, there's a lot of cats. Okay, lots and lots of cats. I can't take them all in. I can't even feed them all. I can't afford to. I mean, yeah, I buy a couple cases of cat food every 2 weeks. Okay, I put it out there. I give them some hard food, and that's it. Then I call the animal control. I don't call animal. I call I don't call animal control because animal control they kill cats. Over here they do, so I don't call them. But I call like fosters or rescues. They don't even call back. They don't because they have so much. I mean, how many cats can you take in? Or if you know somebody who I have a neighbor who has dogs who constantly bark and they leave them out in the backyard and blistering heat and they don't even nobody will come. I even called the police. Nobody came. And and it's just, I used to feed their pets and I feed a cat, but I don't feed the dogs because I can't start that. Yep. And I have a neighbor who lives behind me. His wife has cancer. And, it's got to be annoying. People trying to sleep and get better. And, you have these dogs. Like, they have like 4 dogs. They had a cat. I was going to take the cat to get their cat fixed. Told me, we don't do that. What do you mean you don't do that? What do you mean you don't do it? And their dog gets pregnant twice, and they don't do anything about it. They just keep on having puppies and probably puppies from the first one. Oh my God. But no, they don't do nothing. Nobody does nothing about nothing until something happens. Once something happens, that's it. So I know I always call my neighbors when I see their dogs out. I will call. I don't care if it's 5 in the morning. I'll call their house. Your dog's out. Your dog's out. And they'll have to go get it because I've informed them. Your dog's out. Because unfortunately, well, right now though, I don't hear it so much because my brother and I changed rooms. And see, I don't sleep good anyways. I don't sleep well. I'm like up 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning all the time. And I'm usually just watching TV. But those dogs would bark, 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 bark. And I would never get to sleep. So I told my brother, I said, you want my room? Because he liked it. And I'm like, I'll just take this from up here and we just switch things. And it made my room less, it's smaller, but I like it better because I can't get so much stuff in here. So it's good. It's better for me. The less space is better space. But anyways, this used to be my room when I first moved here, so I just went back home. But yeah, you know, but I do like to watch YouTube a lot. I like TikTok too. I do like to watch TikTok. Not that lady, not so much Cynthia Belant. No, I don't watch her. But I like to watch pet videos on TikTok. I like to watch mostly pet videos. I like to watch. I still love Elvis, so I like to watch his videos. Um, it depends what my mind's on. I don't go down the cooking thing. Like I said, not too much that. Every now and then I might see some. Lonnie Anderson. Oh yeah, isn't she? Didn't she just die or something? Oh, recently, right? She looks so different. I think she had a lot of surgery. She looked different. Yeah, she looked. She. So many people dying. Like you had. Oh my God, Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, yeah, so many people are dying. And man, it makes you feel like what's gonna happen. It seemed like every week there's somebody else. I thought maybe that just, I don't know what it means, but it's not a good thing. Hulk Hogan, I was surprised about that one. Hulk Hogan, um, I think they were married at one time. Were they not? I thought they were married. Oh, I don't think they were married at the time, though. Yeah, I don't think. I always thought she was so pretty. Sally Field. I saw that she's the only one I know that kept her gray hair. She didn't really try to, she didn't try to get, you know. And another one that looked really bad, I think, I mean, better than me, but just bad, is Priscilla Presley. Oh my God, when she was young, she was so pretty. And she had all those surgeries to make her look young, but before she even had those surgeries, she was still very pretty. And then you start having all those surgeries, it just kind of, you get one whack job surgery, man. I know. And I've seen her in person. I have seen her in person. When I used to go to the Elvis in Memphis, I seen her. And she did not look good at all. I mean, she was beautiful. She was absolutely beautiful before she started having that. And oh my God. Doesn't seem like she was a very nice person either. I mean, it seemed like a lot of her family turned on her. And I think it's all goes down to money. It's just all money. Yeah, well, her daughter Lisa, Lisa, you know, gave guardianship to her daughters of her kids, and the kids kind of like turned their back on her. Yeah, I mean, I think she has a side story too, and I don't totally blame her, but I think there's more to it. I mean, when Elvis was alive, she was more like, yes, she did. And it seems like the granddaughter is doing a lot more. Even Lisa. Lisa was, I wasn't a big fan of Lisa. I really wasn't. I think Lisa was too scatterbrained. I think Priscilla is the reason that Graceland got to be the way that it was. Because Priscilla, well, of course, for money, she pushed forward, pushed forward, pushed forward, make it everything that it was. And when Lisa grew up, she became heir to all of that, and but still kept her mom on. But I think her mom had kind of resentments toward Lisa. And even when Lisa died, I don't think they had the best relationship either, because right after the Elvis movie, then her granddaughter wrote a book, which I read. And then slightly after that, yes, that's true. That's what it said in the book. Like she was, because her mom kept her away from her cousins and everything like that. And in the end, she had no relationships with them. She had no relationships with the ones that, that lived in Memphis. And I think not Lisa, Priscilla wasn't all that she presented to be, because her mom was married to a guy in the military, and, he was just a military guy. But, she got in with Elvis, and she was quite younger, and she got that high lifestyle. And it was all because of Elvis. It wasn't that she was going to have that anyway. And then when she got divorced, I don't know if he wanted her fame, but I think they saw everything once Priscilla got older. They saw everything that Elvis could do for Priscilla. But I don't think the fame. I don't think there. You have to have some sort of talent or something. And see, Priscilla's dad was her adopted dad. He was a military person. So, when she first met Elvis, they didn't want her to go. But I always question that, because if that was my child, and my child was 16 or 17 and wanted to go with a man who's 10 years older and live with him, are you crazy? We lost your mind? I mean, I question his thinking. I think that the problem with Elvis, and the reason I think he was dead, was because nobody told him no. Everybody wanted to keep Elvis happy because they wanted Elvis to make money. Because when Elvis made money, everybody else made money. But when nobody ever said no to him, that's why he got all the drugs that he got. That's why he had all this, uh, doctors on board giving him the medication so he could sleep. And nobody ever said, well, you should lose some weight. You should do this. You should do that. Nobody said no to him. So, I mean, and I do think Priscilla said no. I think Priscilla said, you can't, I won't put up with this. And I don't think Priscilla was, the greatest, because I think she had a boyfriend too. But so did Elvis. He had girlfriends all the time, so what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you sit out there and you can't make rules for one and not for yourself, So I mean, and he never was told no, ever, 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 ever. That's like a lot of these stars are never told no, never. That's how they get the drugs. They get all this, and they're dead. Look at Michael Jackson. The same thing with Michael Jackson. Nobody said no to him. I mean, all that shit that he did, and nobody can tell me he didn't have any. Why would you have little boys in your room? Why would you? Why would you playing how? No. Yep. I mean, a lot of these people who make it big and you find out they're dead before they're 40 or 50, that's ridiculous. I mean, at least Frank Sinatra lived to be like old. And, but the ones who had this instant fame, instant this, instant that, they just, they had too much to put. They didn't even appreciate it. I mean, I think Elvis appreciated it. Don't get me wrong. I think he appreciated it. But I don't think, I think he kept yes people behind him. He didn't take no from nobody. And I think his mother, she would have lived. She would have probably told him no, but didn't. So that and his dad was useless. I think his dad was just. I wasn't impressed with his dad. I thought his dad was probably a yes person. Man. What are you doing, cat? I mean, I wouldn't mind have the money and the fame, but I think, well, I probably wouldn't be any different. Yep, he was the only child except a twin. That's a shame too. I mean, she probably couldn't have any more kids. So I think people who come into, become like, I mean, look at all these stars. Michael Jackson, although Michael Jackson had the whole brothers, but the main one was Michael Jackson. He was it. You know, Now Prince, he was good. I like Prince. And a lot of these stars who are just like the only ones, and I don't know. You got to have a balance. I think the ones who work hard to make it. I mean, although I think Elvis worked hard to make it but he was different enough where it was, he was exactly, I think, what they were looking for. But now, if he would have started out like now, all this money he would have made, oh my God, he would have been like, oh my God. The amount of money people make anymore is like ridiculous. But the thing that how much stuff costs, so it's kind of equal. Oh my God. Yeah, he did. He looked really bad at the very end. I mean, I think if he would have just would have went with into a hospital and got some real help, you know, like with his eating, and got away from that Tom Parker. And if he would have said, I'm going to get the help that I need. I'm going to, I mean, I read this book about him, and they were taught what really happened. They said that it was a lot of inbreeding in his family. And a lot of the family died mysteriously, like from illnesses that would only come from, like, if you were inbred by third or fourth cousins and stuff like that. And I mean, crazy. But, a lot of his addictions, I just think, was excess, and nobody saying no. Nobody, really. Tom Parker wanted everything. He wanted everything. He didn't know how to control his spending. He gave him a lot of money away. But on the same time, he didn't provide his workers with a lot of money. He bought them stuff all the time, the way I read it, but giving them money, cash money, I don't think they got as much as everybody thought they did. Because, I mean, shit, they would live with him all the time, and, that would be hard. I mean, I would love to have lived with him, but yeah, he bought everybody houses, and he bought them cars, and he bought them motorcycles, and he bought them horses, but, if you're not getting paid cash and you leave that job, you don't need that horse and you don't need those motorcycles. You need money, and I wouldn't want no horse or motorcycle. I would want money, and I just think that he was always trying to buy something, impress people. And, everybody was already impressed with him, But, I think he just had a lot of issues. I still love him, though. I still, I mean, I don't go like I used to. I don't know if you know or remember. I used to go to Memphis and all that. And I don't go to that as much as I haven't been like in a long, long time. I was gonna go no, not this year. I was gonna go next year. I couldn't go this year because my cat was sick, and I had to stay with my cat because my brother could never gave the cat the medicine, and my brother is really forgetful now, so he does things the way he wants to do. Yeah, I used to love to go down there and man, what would it have been like, just to know Elvis Presley, and that's the only person I've ever been really starstruck for, and I still am. If I probably would see him, I always thought he was the best looking man ever, and still to this day, even when he was fat, I think he was good looking. I thought he was good looking. I just think he just let things go. I think he probably had depression problems too. I think when Priscilla left him and she didn't want to come back, it was an ego thing. Not that he wanted her so much, but he couldn't have the one thing he wanted. Yeah, and lots of pressure, yeah. Because the music was changing at the time. In 1977, the Bee Gees came out. I mean, okay. I mean, they're pretty big. I mean, a lot of big singers would come out in 1977. And that's the year he died. And he couldn't put up with that. Okay, Suspicious Mind was great. And a few songs that he put out was good. But they weren't in the same caliber. He was probably going to go into the country field of music, which I think he would have been good, but man, but at the end of the day, I look back on it, and the truth be told, he was just a drug addict. He became that. And people will always remember, they will remember his beautiful voice and his through philanthropy and giving money away, and they will remember, his silly movies, but they will always also remember he was a drug addict. He it wasn't drugs off the street, but it was drugs nonetheless. It was getting drugs from his doctor, who had to go to jail for that. And I mean, it comes down to like every other big person, except like I just think he was just amazing looking, but I mean, he's not alive, so it doesn't matter. I say he's a safe person I can lust after the dead. Now he's sick. But that's. I remember when I first started liking Elvis, I wanted to move down to Memphis, and I don't even know why. It was so stupid. I was so dumb. I was so dumb. Now you couldn't pay me to move to Memphis. It's too much crime down there. I know my yeah, she was an alcoholic, and she was a drug addict too. Yes, she was. She was a drug addict too. Even talked about it in her book. Yes, it does. It even talks about her being a drug addict. And she was an alcoholic and a drug addict. And she'd do well getting off of them, and then she'd go back and do them again. She had weight loss surgery. Lisa Marie had weight loss surgery about maybe 5 or 6 years previous to her death. And she wasn't really all that heavy. And she had the reason she died, I think, had to do with the weight loss surgery. I think it had something to do with that. I think she truly loved her kids. I think she really did. I think Ben had a lot of issues, though. I think Ben had. I never knew she had weight loss surgery until I read that in her book. In that book, her daughter wrote. I didn't. I had no idea she had weight loss surgery. And but I think her son Ben. I think he had a lot of problems. Well, of course he did. Committed suicide. So you don't do it because you're happy. You know. I feel sorry. I bet. I bet. And I don't think he could sing. I don't think he could sing. And I really don't think he looked that much like Elvis Presley. Maybe when he was young, maybe a little bit, but I don't think as much. You know, maybe if he would have had darker hair, dyed his hair dark, and but I don't think. I never saw the big, everybody, oh, he looked just like Elvis. I never saw that. No, I don't think so. You get emo. What's emo? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I don't know why he did that. I mean, he, I don't know why he did that. I guess he's trying to find his own identity, maybe. Because I never seen anything that he did, except being Elvis's grandson. Now, the granddaughters, Lisa's daughters, are very, very, very pretty. And, the her other granddaughter is very pretty. She was in the movies and stuff like that. But I never see her in anything else. I've seen her in one or two movies or something. But would have had a lot to be proud of if he would have lived. That he would have had a lot to compare. And if he would have just lived, you never know. He might have gotten back with Priscilla. Maybe he would have grown up, and you know, you can only sleep with so many women. But who knows? I mean, it should have, would have, could have, you know. This is great. I've never been on like in a long time this long. It's so crazy. I mean, I came on, I was like, well, I'll come on. Oh, I'm sure he did need his mother. I'm sure he needed his mom. When she died, sure, she was an alcoholic. She had problems. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm good. I'm good. No, I just looked at it. No, um, she had a lot of problems. I mean, and I think they were swept under the bridge. I mean, under the rug or whatever. I think that they were. She was an alcoholic. Did you see the movie Elvis with Baz Luhrmann or whatever his name was? I love that movie. I saw that movie so many times. I think I own stock in. I would go to that movie like twice a week. I don't know why. I just like it was just something weird. I get over obsessed with some stuff, and but I learned so much. And then I read all these books that was written about him, and two really really big books I read about him, and then the daughter and the granddaughter. Or what I read all those, and I think I had a pretty good knowledge of him. And the mother, I mean, he like doted on her, but I think their relationship was a little too much, you know. And she was afraid everything was going to happen to him, and but you know, I don't know. That's what they said. Like maybe like he had a lot of problems that could have came from on his mom's side. I don't know. Mm. Yeah, but I think she did worry about him a lot. But I think she was drinking. I think she had cirrhosis of the liver. I think that's what her problem was. I think she had cirrhosis of the liver. I think. I mean, I haven't seen the thing, but it was kind of alluded to. And it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't. I think a lot of things went on. I mean, there was a lot of. Maybe she drank even before, you know, they got their fame, and and once you get the fame, you can get anything you want. You know, I don't know back in those days, was alcohol, because I don't know in the South like that, but I'm sure it was readily available. I mean, I can't see running down to the local, you know, uh, liquor store and buying it, but I'm sure somebody would. Um, they sure do. I don't think anybody gets out of this life without having at least one addiction. I mean, even slight addiction, or, some sort of personality defect. God, I have my own. But, it seems like everybody does have something. Just don't talk about it. People don't talk about, usually put their, you know, yeah. And he went to prison, didn't he? And he had a drug problem and a lot of things. A lot of people have a lot of problems that they don't talk about. You just don't. They just Now people come online and we talk about all the problems. How they get on there? Well, you told everybody. That's how it happens. Everybody tells everything, and then they wonder, how that happened. Hmm. Really, June Carter? Oh wow! I always thought Johnny Cash got a lot of, you know, credit, but June Carter, it wasn't like that the one, the wife he really loved the most or something. Really, I'm going to check that out. Hmm. I'm gonna look that up. June Carter. Hmm. Write that down. Well, I guess I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna probably come back tomorrow. If is this a good time? Really? Oh my God! I did the intermittent fasting a long time ago. I'm gonna tell you something. It really, really works. And if you can get past the beginning, the weight, oh man, it comes off really good. Uh, my problem was that I did the keto with it. Nah, I don't like the keto. But nice talking to you. And I'll tell you what, I'll probably be back tomorrow if you want to talk. And you take care and enjoy those Cheetos. That's how I am. I like to eat at night. I'm more of an a nighttime eater than I am a daytime eater. I always have, like, before I go to bed, I eat potato chips. You take care, and thanks for talking with me. Bye bye.